Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a good Friday, wherever you are around the world. Hopefully, everyone's enjoyed the sun. Of course, the UK summer has officially arrived. For about 2 weeks anyway, but how are we all? Hopefully all of you are well. Hopefully everyone's on a fantastic day, and we do have a bit of news, chat. Again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below as well. But we do have big news concerning, of course, Michael Edwards and Julian Ward. Of course, Julian Ward is back at the football club. We'll dive into all of the news, of course, concerning him, and know your guys' thoughts as well on what has happened today. Of course, the big news that again, Julian Ward is back at the football club, and of course, we're also going to discuss Liverpool against Aston Villa. Of course, last away game of the season. Again, very tough opposition with, of course, Aston Villa. They need 1 point to definitely secure Champions League football, which, again, is an absolutely amazing feat for Aston Villa. Of course, I think they got knocked out yesterday, didn't they, of the Conference League, but still, again, managing to get Champions League football is amazing. It's outstanding in that sense as well. So again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below anyway. And of course, get your score predictions in, get your starting 11s in, all that good stuff as well anyway. But we're just going to dive straight into a chat as well. And we're going to talk then about, of course, Michael Edwards getting Julian Ward back at the football club. Now, if I quickly get up the article piece as well from James Pearce, but yes, Michael Edwards has brought Julian Ward back to the football club. As you can see on screen right now from James Pearce himself, saying Michael Edwards has brought back former Liverpool sporting director Julian Ward as FSG's new technical director. Edwards has also appointed Benfica's Pedro Marquez as FSG's director of football development. Now, if I quickly go down, as you can see on screen right now, saying that Ward will oversee player development across FSG's football operations. Responsibilities includes oversight of Liverpool's academy, loan department, group-wide elite player development strategies, and of course establishment of FSG's new football obviously a new department that, of course, obviously that will link with the new team as well. And obviously James is also adding to this as well, saying that Ward will also preside over the management of football operations at any club added to FSG obviously stable. Marquez, who will report to Ward, is required as regarded as an expert in player development, career pathways, and coaching methodologies and performance analysis as well. So, also, of course, adding to it as well, Paul Joyce also adding to this, saying that the appointment of Ward will enable Richard Hughes to focus on aspects such as coaching, recruitment, negotiations, and medical operations, along with administrative fixture and management at the club's AXA training ground, which, again, that's great news for Liverpool, of course. Again, hiring these two. Again, we already know one in terms of Julian Ward, and obviously the business that he did at the football club, but also hiring this Marquez. Again, Marquez has been a part of, if I quickly get that off the screen, of course, Marquez has been a part of Manchester City. He's been a part of Benfica as well. I believe he was also at Sporting as well. So it seems like Liverpool are getting the best possible, best in the business then. Again, similar to what we had a couple of years ago with Michael Edwards at, of course, the football club, and him being the number one guy in terms of being the sporting director, obviously the stuff behind the scenes as well. So Julian Ward being a big part of that as well. It seems like Liverpool behind the scenes are the best at the minute, and looking at the structure of it. Again, people say that FSG, have been bad Liverpool owners. For me right now, FSG are doing what should have been done a very long time ago, and are setting the foundations for Liverpool to be successful for the next 10 to 15 years. And that's a very, very good optimistic thing to be about. Of course, again, obviously results matter on the pitch and so on. Obviously, we'll find out next season, of course, with under Arne Slot how we actually are. But everything is there at the minute for him to succeed. Behind the scenes, of course, it seems like Liverpool's structure, from the manager to the sporting director to the higher ups at the football club, seem to be unbelievable. And the fact that FSG have pulled it off, fair play to them. Because again, they get rightfully criticized when they do things wrong. But I think they deserve a massive praise for something they have done really good. In that sense. Again, look, I'm not going to say, I don't think any of us are 100% experts in terms of the people that they have brought in, but what does seem to be the case is that Liverpool have hired the best in class yet again. And obviously the best is Michael Edwards in terms of, the whole football operation. And then you've got, Julian Ward and Marquez as well coming in. They are the guys that are the best in their fields. And it seems like Liverpool behind the scenes are miles and above every other team at the minute. Of course, I think obviously you've got Manchester City in that sense as well behind the scenes, but overall, when you do look at it, Liverpool are in a very good place. And people, again, with Jurgen Klopp going, I think everyone was worried when he announced it, but the structure is there for Liverpool to win things over the next few years. And again, who knows what will happen, but we've got an exciting squad. We've got an exciting behind the scenes as well in terms of Michael Edwards and Julian Ward, which again is fantastic to even think about. And look, people will go, of course it will massively depend on what who Liverpool bring in, and of course it will. Look, the names getting linked already. Obviously, Liverpool looking for a centre half. That's going to be obviously an open race. There's loads of good centre halves out there that Liverpool can go and get if they want to, spend the money on it. But again, like for me personally, I'm excited for the future of Liverpool Football Club. I'm excited for what we can do with the squad we already have, and what is going to happen, with Ward and Edwards being back at the football club. Obviously, Richard Hughes as well being a part of that. We were very successful with data driven. And look, it could happen again. Liverpool could, in the next couple of years, go on and win the Premier League. We don't know. But of course, obviously, hopefully that's the start next season that we'll see signs that Liverpool can still compete at the top level. With Jurgen Klopp leaving, again, still won't feel the same, but hopefully Liverpool can do good as well. Evening, Rai. Hope you're doing well, mate. As well, Rai. Let me know your thoughts. Anyway, of course. Right, have you got Luton on the weekend? Obviously, if anyone doesn't know, Ryan is an Everton fan as well. But yeah, don't you have? No, it's Sheffield that Everton got. Cause they're a part of my bet. Anyway, but again, if anyone's watching the repeat as well, let me know your guys' thoughts, because look, it is an exciting time for Liverpool. Of course, summer's coming up as well, which of course, look. It's going to be load of transfer rumours this summer. Of course, that's be linked to about 1,000 Dutch players as well. That's going to be a big thing this summer. But look, at the end of the day, the future is exciting for Liverpool for sure. Anyway, but yeah, Sheffield United. There we go. Right, thank you for that. Anyway, but yeah, look, and when you do look at the Premier League, and we're speaking more on the Villa game now as well. You do look at it. Of course, the only spot that is left is the Champions League spot for the top four. I'll quickly get the Premier League table up as well. But you do look at it. Of course, United, look like they could be failing as well in terms of not getting any European football, which I think is very funny. To be fair, also we've got Europa League, so again this Europa League, we've got Champions League. Sorry, so of course this game, it's not really means anything, but of course we want to send Jurgen off in the best possible way in winning the last two games of the season. And look, it's all about, of course, Villa will want to leave on a high for their season. Of course, I know that they lost yesterday out in Olympiacos. I think they lost. Was it 1-0? I think it was. But yeah, it'll be very interesting. But again, obviously you'll have to let me know on that as well. But Rai says, we're safe now. Forest got their appeal rejected, which led us to pulling out of ours. So the season's done. Roll on next season. Yeah, exactly. And look, Ryan will know this. I love to wind up Ryan and Tom about Everton going down. But at the end of the day, I would miss Merseyside derbies. I would. Even though it's very, very annoying having the Blue Shite beat us the other week. But look, the Premier League needs 2 Merseyside teams in it. 100% it does. If you ask me right now, I don't want Luton or Forest to stay up personally for what they've done this season to Liverpool, in terms of off the field stuff, in terms of their fans. But if you ask me between the two, who would I prefer to stay up? I prefer Luton to stay up, more than anyone. Forest, I think, are just a horrible bunch, genuinely. And Ryan will back me up on this as well. I genuinely hope that Forest do go down. And then the only person I'll feel sorry for out to Forest is Divock Origi. But to be fair, Divock Origi can go back to AC Milan, can't he? As well. But look, at the end of the day, it would be it would be interesting. But is anything? Can you send me the link on the hell? What the hell are you about to say? But in an ideal world, we finish first every season. You finish second by 10 points. Yeah, no chance, lads. You need to win a cup. You need to win a trophy first, and that's not happening anytime soon. Again, I expect the DVD. I expect the DVD to come out anyway in the summer, right? With you beating us, I genuinely expect that to come out anyway. But again, though, like we'll take a look at the Premier League table, because again, when you do look at the table, there's not much to play for. To be fair, because again, look. For us, the season's pretty much over. Obviously, everyone else doesn't have that much to play for as well. Let me quickly get up the league table. There we go. So, is that going to come up on the big screen? Yeah, there we go. So, as you can see, again, Liverpool season's pretty much done. Again, if we were to win the Premier League, we have to have both Arsenal and Manchester City losing all the rest of the games for the rest of the season. That's not going to happen. But yeah, Villa need one more point to secure top 4. Of course, obviously, I think if Spurs lose, then it's pretty much done anyway. But you look at the rest of the table, you look at the Europa League spots, and you look at the Conference League spots. That's a mad race. That's going to be very tasty going into the last couple of games of the season, considering Newcastle, I believe, play Manchester United as well. And again, even the relegation race, we quickly scroll down if I can. There we go. So you can see, but there, again, obviously Everton safe, Brentford, of course, safe, but again, only 3 points in it. Chat again, let me know who you think are going to go down. But for me, I Luton, they can get one win. Of course, if Forest do get a win in the next couple of, one or two, if they get a win on the weekend, I should say, then I would say then Luton are pretty much down in that sense. But still, if Forest can actually, bottle it, and then Luton get an odd win or two, like that's huge as well. So again, and plus you never know what's going to happen next season. They could be met with more points deduction as well in terms of Forest as well. But we can all dream big on. Let me have my moment. I'll be queuing up for that DVD. No, it'll be on demand 100%. The Don Carlo DVD was a massive sell, wasn't it? So do you know what? You can tell football during the COVID era was just a complete myth. When you've got Carlo Ancelotti going into his his 5th Champions League final or his 6th, and to think about it, his previous club was Everton Football Club. Like that's a mad thing to even think about. To be fair, but yeah, I can't bring myself to even think about Carlo Ancelotti as Liverpool, as not Liverpool manager, as of course Everton boss. Like that in itself is, a weird experience to even think about. Either. But just quickly looking at, of course, obviously Liverpool play Villa on the weekend. Just taking a look at the obviously the last time we played Villa, of course, we beat them 3-0 at Anfield. I think Szoboszlai, obviously Matty Cash on goal. I think Darwin Núñez should have got the goal for that, and of course Mo Salah got the goals in that game. And Liverpool were very good that game. It was one of probably our best performances of the season. It's the only time we've beat a top 6 team this season, which is not great when we do look at that, but we massively punished Villa on the counter attack. Obviously, Villa playing their high line, which again you expect them to play tomorrow, not tomorrow, on Monday. Sorry, with their high line, and it's going to be interesting in terms of starting 11s because you don't change much from a winning team, and that Spurs performance, before the fourth goal was pretty good, and. Obviously, Jurgen, obviously speaking about Darwin Núñez today, obviously spoke a lot about Harvey Elliott as well. I think Harvey's going to be a guaranteed starter for Villa. I can really see that. The front three, to be fair, is a tricky one because obviously Cody Gakpo played one of his best games for Liverpool against Tottenham off the left, and it's a real question of who do you play up top? Do you play a Luis Diaz in that 9 position, and obviously you can rotate between the two in terms of Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo, or do you play Darwin Núñez? Now, for me, I think you do play Darwin Núñez. Of course, obviously, what's happened this week is not the best. Obviously, Jurgen speaking about it earlier, you guys would have seen on the channel in terms of the short. But again, I think if Darwin can get 2 good performances towards the back end of the season, again, you don't know how good that'll be in terms of, again, his confidence in that sense as well. But again, I don't think you can drop Lucho in that sense neither because he's been good. Again, people go on about the end product, and to be fair, he massively has to improve on that. But Lucho, he's been probably one of Liverpool's best forwards over the last 2 months, 3 months. But it was very much a sense of, again, you can't drop Gakpo because he's doing good on the left, and you can't drop Diaz because he's been performing well. So again, Jurgen might decide to keep it as that. But Ryan saying Núñez struggling so much in front of goal, you try claiming his own goal is his rogue that goal. To be fair though, if you go back and watch it, he slams the post, which should have been a tap in realistically. But yeah. Was Gakpo not playing through the middle against Spurs? He seemed to be very central if he was supposed to be on there. He did play. He was meant to be the striker, but he was playing on the left quite a lot. If you watch the game through the 90 minutes, he was very much on the left-hand side, and Diaz was through the middle. So that's where I think Cody Gakpo's at his best. He's at his best through the middle, through the left, sorry. And again, you saw it at PSV, you've seen it so far for Liverpool. He's not been at his best through the centre, so you put him on the left. And when you have played him on the left, he's been really, really good. I remember a game early on this season where, was it Burnley away from home, where we played the front three of Núñez, Salah, and Gakpo on the left. It worked. And I know Gakpo has, he can play versatile, and that's a very good trait to have. But for me, if you've got a player who can, have 10 plus goals and 10 plus assists in the season coming off the left in terms of Gakpo, you play him. But then again, as I said about Lucho, Lucho has been great, but it's the finished product with him. That's the annoying part, and that is the big annoyance about Luis Diaz. If Luis Diaz could finish, he'd be one of the best left wingers in the world. But it is just that finished product with Lucho that does let him down. I think is it this season he's got like 5% conversion rate, which again is not great when you do look at it, but. Again, can that be improved? I'm not so sure. And I think obviously the big question is, with all the rumours of Liverpool looking for a wide player this summer, does that mean that Gakpo's leaving? Does it mean that Lucho's going? I can't see For me personally, I can't see Gakpo and Lucho staying while us signing another wide player, if that makes sense. Especially if it is to be, somebody like a Somerville, for example, or who else has been rumored. Trying to think, my mind's gone blank, but you get what I mean, chat. Again, for Liverpool to sign another wide player, I can't see that anyway. I should have said Mbappe, but to be fair, like Mbappe has confirmed he's leaving PSG. Obviously, everyone got on the bandwagon that he was joining Liverpool as well, but look, he's not joining Liverpool whatsoever. But again, chat, if anyone's in, watch. Let me know your start 11 prediction as well. But quickly get up. Have I done that right? Yes, I have done that right. So if we take a look at my starting 11 prediction for for Villa, sorry, that's because I was reading Spurs in the chat. But if you take a look at my predicted team to take on Aston Villa for Monday night, this would be my team to take on Villa. I'd go Alisson Becker in goal, Trent Alexander-Arnold right back, Ibu Konate alongside Virgil van Dijk and Andy Robertson. Because it's the end of the season, again, Stefan Bajcetic is back. Did play, I think, around 15 minutes, wasn't it, chat, against Spurs. I would start him personally, see what he can do in the 6 alongside Harvey Elliott and Alexis McAllister. And then I go Mohamed Salah, Darwin Núñez, and Cody Gakpo coming off the left. That would be my team. I think the big call there is probably the DM. Obviously, you could play Maka there. You could bring on Szoboszlai, or you could, of course, play Wataru Endo because, again, Endo, he's had a good season. Of course, obviously, I think a lot of people might think he might leave next summer. I don't think he will. I think he will stay around for another year. But obviously, we're going to do a video on this as well, but we're talking about Xavi Simons. Of course, looks like he's going to leave PSG this summer. And of course, I think I put on Twitter, should Liverpool be interested in him? And obviously, a lot of people responded back to it saying, again, no, we don't need him. If you're going to play it with a 10 next season, we've already got players that can do that in terms of, obviously, Szoboszlai, Harvey Elliott's definitely one as well. And I think someone mentioned, again, the DM market. And you do look at it, of course, there's players there that Liverpool could sign. Obviously, one name I think has been rumoured for a little bit. Obviously, João Neves, I think, from Benfica. He's definitely someone that Liverpool could go on to sign. But also as well, I do feel like Liverpool, under Arne Slot, I think we would look for a destroyer again. I know Jurgen Klopp spoke about, again, he didn't want a destroyer in his Liverpool team in terms of Liverpool 2.0, but I think under Arne Slot, I think we will be looking for a destroyer in the summer. Personally, not a Fabinho type player. I think we'll look for somebody who can play with the ball slightly better, but we'll be looking for not a McAllister type 6 or an Endo type 6. We'll definitely be looking for somebody who can play but also has that destructive force in it. Like you look at Rodri, for example. Rodri can play as a 10 for Manchester City. He could quite easily. And that's obviously the big disadvantage in that, because he's that good. You look at him at the 6, and he's not a complete destroyer that just sweeps up everything and that's all he does. Rodri can play football. Fabinho could do that at times for Liverpool, but Liverpool needs somebody like that, because if we do want to go on to win a Champions League, a Premier League in the future under Arne Slot, we have to sign someone like that. Now, for me, I think one guy in particular who is a good player to bring in would be Matt Swiefer from Feyenoord. He could be a great player to come in. I think a lot of people have compared him to Declan Rice, which, again, it's not bad to be compared to, but still, obviously, from the Eredivisie to the Premier League, it's a massive jump, isn't it? As well, of course, players have done it before, but you look more recently, obviously, Anthony, you look at that type of situation as well, and plus Feyenoord, I think, would want something around 40 million, 50 million for him. Are Liverpool going to pay that type of money for a player from Vinyl, I'm not so sure, unless it's a massive request from Arnie Slot, of course. But well, LJ's in as well saying, what do you expect of Slot's team next season? Like, what will be our progress if you can compare it to any of Klopp's seasons from 2016? For me, it will be the expectation for next season is to get back into the Champions League. It must be, and it must be a thought process of that's the bare minimum that we need for next season. We've got the squad to do it, and Arne Slot will play similar football to Jurgen Klopp, not so much in terms of build up, more in terms of defensive shape. It will be like Jurgen Klopp, but Liverpool should be a Champions League club, even with a new manager and a new method, new strategy, and so on. A successful season for next season for me personally would be Champions League qualification and a cup. Would be for a first season, that would be a tremendous season. But again, there needs to be a progression there, because again, for me, I'll give Arne Slot 2-3 years. For me personally, again, if there's a clear sign of progression in the football club in terms of the football we play as well, if there's a clear idea and you can see the progression going forward, then again, I'll be all for that. If there's like a Manchester United like this season, where the first season's good and then the collapse happens and things start to unravel, then there's a conversation around it. But again, the first season, Champions League, that's the main ideal anyway. But for me, guys, anyway, I'm going to go a 2-1 Liverpool win against Villa. Of course, it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. Villa will want to win, obviously, the last home game of the season. Obviously, we'll definitely want to win because, of course, Jurgen Klopp's last away game of the season. But I'm going to go 2-1. I think we'll just nick it towards the end. I'm going to go Mo Salah and Darwin Núñez to get the goals for Liverpool. Fingers crossed. Anyway, but if you haven't seen that we've been speaking about it anyway, of course, we've spoken about Julian Ward joining, of course, the football club. He's come back due to Michael Edwards as well. So if you want to watch that, please go back to the start of the video. We did speak about it as well. Very good appointments from FSG. Give them praise when they do things right. Of course, criticize them when they don't do things right. But still, they've done a really good thing in terms of the behind the scenes at Liverpool anyway. But we are going to leave it there for tonight, guys. Anyway, tomorrow, like I said, there is going to be a video on Xavi Simons, should Liverpool sign him. That's going to be tomorrow as well. So again, keep your eyes peeled for that. And until next time, guys, that is going to be it from us. Of course, probably tomorrow will be the Xavi Simons video. Sunday, probably nothing. And then Monday, then will be the post-match after the footy. Anyway, unless something else comes out. Of course, if Arne Slot gets announced as Liverpool manager, we'll bring you guys that as well anyway. But until next time, guys, that's going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the COP Council. I see you guys tomorrow. Ta-ra.